Companies may more truly represent the diverse perspectives of their entire team by engaging people from all social classes in all levels of leadership, resulting in a more egalitarian work environment with improved productivity, employee engagement, and better business outcomes overall. So for today's discussion, we are going to tackle the social class in workplace diversity. So at the end of this chapter, the students shall be able to know the effect of social class within diversity, learn the different types of classes in society, able to identify the different social classes, and to know what classes society is. A person's experience of class can influence his or her behavior, value systems, and perceptions of self and others, and is sometimes described as a hidden element that needs to be uncovered or made transparent. So here are some examples of how class might affect you. First is affecting one's relationships and communication with others, such as how we treat those around us. Next is determining one's own self-concept, confidence, and perception of ability to take on certain responsibilities, roles, or career goals. Next is creating a sense of belonging or exclusion due to one's comfort with others or familiarity with professional or social environments. Next is creating a sense of exclusion from one's family or class of origin if one has changed social class through education, employment, or life's partnerships. And then influencing one's perception of money, power, status, organizational structure, and policies and management hierarchy. Let us define what is social class. So there is a saying, birds of a feather, or birds of the same feather flocks together. So social class is a status hierarchy by which groups and individuals are classified on the basis of esteem, such as regard and respect, and prestige, such as reputation, influence derived from achievements. The different lifestyles of social classes lead to different benefits being sought. So members of the same social class tend to share common values, beliefs, and behaviors that unite them. Common factors used to people in different social classes, occupation, source of income, possessions, associations with others, and level of influence. So how are people being ranked? They are ranked by means of knowing their income, occupation, power, privilege, manner of living, region where they live, their age, their gender, and race. So the greater power, status, and wealth, the more privileges and opportunities one can get. So we have here the 3 broad issues and 10 variables in the study of social class. So we have the economic basis, the social basis, and political implications. Under economic basis, we have these variables: occupation, the wealth, the income, and poverty. Under social basis, we have prestige, association, socialization, and social mobility. So under political implications, we have power and class consciousness. So again, we have here the 3 broad issues and 10 variables in the study of social class. So when we say class stratification or social class stratification, this is a type of social stratification in which a society is divided into groups with varying levels of access to resources and power. So between distinct classes, there is frequently in terms of economics, natural resources, culture, religions, interests, and ideals. Okay, so here are the basis of social stratification. We have wealth, and this is associated with education, income, and occupation. For the power, this is the ability of one party to affect the behavior of another party. And the prestige is the distinction or reputation and how people are subjectively evaluated by others. So here we can see the social class, the percentage in which this group of people covers up a population, and of the occupation for every social class. So let's start with lower class, and this covers 70% of the population in the Philippines, according to All Nations Publishers 2005. And their occupations are laborers and unskilled workers. Middle class, this covers 20% of the population, and their jobs are professionals, skilled or semi-skilled workers in offices, factories, or farms. And for the upper class, this covers 10% of the population. They are those wealthy industrialists with big corporations, the owner of large plantation or haciendas. So we also have here this category or social class, which is called the elite class. So this is less than 1% in number. They have their control resources and have inherited wealth. They travel frequently. They are being educated, mostly in international platforms. They live in network environment, and in terms of marketing, they are difficult to convince. Then we have here the upper class. So for upper class, they cover 10% in number. They are assertive, skilled, and motivated. They travel on need and for business support. Their spending is well balanced. They are also keen to grow more and enter in elite class. And they often work out their edge when subject to marketing. Next is the upper middle class. So for the upper middle class, we are 10% in number, white-collared and managing their lifestyle, depicting the best. They spend more on dress, living, and social status maintenance. They also spend well, in touch with technology and development. They are also calculative in spending other than mentioned earlier. And they have their own good living conditions and mobility needs. So again, they are the upper middle class. And then for the lower middle class, they own reasonable living conditions. They are also dependent on community mobility means. They have their job and employment as their basic concern. They spend more on education of their children. They also do multiple jobs or overtime employment. And they are easy target for the marketers. Next, we have the working class. So for this, mostly they live in rented accommodation. They have larger families. Employment may not be permanent. They also spend aggressively, and they spend some portion on education. And then we have this poor class. No living on their own. They are mostly unemployed, uneducated. Their spending pattern is not supported, and they live in fallacies or mistaken behaviors. So what is social mobility? So social mobility is defined as the movement from one class status position to another. We have these two general types. We have the intragenerational and intergenerational. So when we say intragenerational, this is a movement within one generation Example, a person moves from one social class to another in the course of their lifetime. And then for intergenerational, their movement between generations. Example, a person's father was a laborer and he is a teacher. So again, here are the two general types of social mobility. We also have this another types based on geographical area, another types of social mobility. So we have the vertical mobility, the horizontal mobility, the open and closed modes of mobility, and intergenerational mobility. When we say horizontal mobility, this is the movement within same range of prestige. Vertical mobility is a movement from one position to another of a different rank. Intergenerational mobility is a social position, changes of children relative to their parents. And intragenerational mobility is social position changes within person's adult life. So again, here are the other types of social mobility based on geographical area. So again, mobility is influenced by race, class, gender, and education. So here in the figure, we can see the Filipino families disaggregated by income class. So for the upper class, we cover 0.1% or 21,700 families. And mostly their income varies from 702,000 or 702,822 annually. 822 pesos annually. Again, 702,822 pesos annually. And then for middle class, they usually compose of the 25.2% of the population or 4.7 million families. And their income varies from 57,396 pesos annually. And then for the lower class, they are 74% or 74.3% of the population or the 14 million families. And their salaries per year is usually 16,872 pesos. And then for the income poor, 12.6% or 2.5 million families in the population, as well as the food poor, which is 7.9% or 1,055,000 families or 1.55 million families. So the salary usually varies from 11,773 pesos annually or much lower. Okay, so this is based from the Virola 2013. And then we also have this Filipino income class. So this is from the Money Wealth Esquire magazine. So for the poor, their monthly income is 10,957. For the low income but not poor, 10,957 to 21,914 pesos. For the lower middle, they have 21,914 pesos to 43,828 pesos as their monthly income. For the middle class, their monthly income varies or ranges from 43,828 to 76,669 pesos. For the upper middle, their monthly income varies from 76,669 pesos to 131,484 pesos monthly. And then for the upper middle but not rich, their salary or monthly income ranges from 131,483 to 219,140 pesos. And then for the rich, 219,140 and above as their monthly income. So again, this is the Filipino income class as of 2020. Here are some added reference materials that you can read and you can watch. So this one is entitled Social Class and Rankism at Work. So this is all about the influence of social class in the workplace and what are the advantages and disadvantages of classifying socially. And here is a video about social classes in the workplace and a docu from YouTube about social class. So always remember that nothing in this world is permanent except change. So whatever your social class is for this moment, it doesn't mean that you will not move or you will not reach what you want to reach. Just always move and continue dreaming, no, and respect each other's ability, their skills, no, knowledge, regardless of their social class. So we are going to end this presentation by means of this quote from an Arabian proverb. All mankind is divided into three classes: those that are immovable, those that are movable, and those that move. Thank you very much for your time listening to our discussion. I hope you learned something from today. Stay safe and healthy, everyone.